The tropics are heating up with typical summertime heat in the forecast. Yeah, so temperatures here the next 5, 10 days are not really going to break records, okay? This is July, it's the hottest time of the year on average, so you're going to see 80s, 90s, and triple digits. But this time of the year, it really takes extreme heat to break records, so we're not going to really do that across the entire country the next 5 to 10 days. However, the tropics are heating up here, so I'll talk about that now in the forecast in more detail. This is Tropical Storm Chantal, just named here, 8 o'clock in the morning on your Saturday, 4th of July weekend. It's going to push up into South Carolina and North Carolina. Now, the key with this storm is going to be that the convection of thunderstorms, it's not vertically stacked, right? So the convection of thunderstorm activity is really off to the east of it, okay, because of the wind shear. So it's not a perfectly stacked system. So it's not going to be as strong, and it's also not going to bring torrential massive extreme flooding into the Carolinas because of that, okay? So that means that this storm is going to have a moderate to low impact for the Carolinas, but there will still be, especially along the coastline up into North Carolina, South Carolina, North Carolina, Myrtle Beach, there's still going to be rain. There still will be torrential tropical downpours with this because it is a tropical storm, but it's not going to have a ton of wind and it's not going to cause major issues, okay? So I'll show you that here now. Rainfall potential from the National Weather Service, National Hurricane Center. Notice here, you've got 2, 4, even 6 inches of rainfall close to Myrtle Beach, up towards Wilmington, Hatteras, okay, in the greens and yellows. But this is not going to even really reach Charlotte, Raleigh, Durham. It's not going to be a big deal, okay? So I wouldn't cancel your plans. Obviously, Myrtle Beach has the greatest impact, the most amount of rain of this forecast here. That's right around here. So I'd watch out there. Certainly 4, 5, 6 inches of rain could have some impacts, but it's not going to be major. Now, what's going on across the country? You're going to have a cold front come in from the west here in the Great Lakes. This front, the next weather maker to come through, and you see here Chantal moving up South Carolina, North Carolina. Now, eventually, this front and what's left of Chantal will kind of even merge or even kick it out to sea, but this front really is not going to make too much progress. Now, also want to point out what is going on over Texas. You've got extreme flooding over central Texas, over the Guadalupe area, rivers rising dozens of feet in a matter of hours here. So obviously it's a very dangerous situation. Actually, right here on the fly, I'm going to go ahead and bring up weather-wise here. I forgot to bring it up, so I'm going to bring it up right now. Weather-wise, let's go to it, and let me show you what is going on across. It's a great website. I love this website because it shows the warnings going on. So it shows what's happening across the country. So we'll zoom in now and show you what's going on right here live over Texas, just outside of San Antonio. This is where all the flooding is now. To the south here, you've got flash flood warnings here north of Austin. Outside of Corpus Christi, you've got some shower activity. But look at all of this flooding here over towards just east of San Antonio, right? So a lot of rainfall happening right now. Let's go ahead and show you what's going on here. This is the dangerous situation happening, catastrophic flooding happening over just to the northwest of Austin, okay, is where you have that happening right now. So they have gotten a tremendous, basically a whole year's worth of rainfall in a matter of hours, which is just catastrophic. The ground can't handle that level of rainfall coming down in that short a period of time from that very kind of rogue system sitting over one spot and just dumping rainfall. The clouds just a rain bomb of just a tremendous amount of rainfall coming down, all of that moisture being wrung out of the clouds. And then here is Chantal. Now it is a tropical storm pushing up into South Carolina here. Now Myrtle Beach on the eastern side, so you're going to get the most rainfall from this. Remember, the northeast side of tropical systems pretty much almost always gets the wind and a lot of the times gets the rainfall. Not all the time, but a lot of times. It certainly gets the wind and any storm surge. I don't expect a lot of storm surge from this one, but there it is moving up in the next couple of days. You can see the outline here of the cone of uncertainty here, and the impact's always outside of that cone, but for the most part, the system Here, I can show you all of the rainfall. The convection is very lopsided. I showed you that. Look at all the rain. It's off the coast here. It's not on land right now. Then eventually that's going to move on land, but right now it is not really a concern for flooding across Charleston, Myrtle Beach, but eventually that rainfall will push inland, okay? So that's what's going on there. Now, across the north, you've got heat advisories, New England, southern New England, northern New England. These are all heat advisories. You see these here popping up. So the southwest interior, the southern coast of Maine, southern New Hampshire, almost all of Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Vermont, up to Champlain Valley. Okay, heat advisories. So this is for tomorrow into Monday, and that is where the heat's going to be popping up because this warm front here is going to slide east. This warm front here, and here's your cold front, that's going to push east. You're going to get ridging. It's going to pump in heat and humidity. So today, 80s, humidity relatively low, still in the 50s for dew points. Tomorrow, though, you're going to see heat and humidity surge from the south. However, as I pointed out, you're not going to see any circles on these numbers here. Maybe a couple in Vermont, way up in the Champaign Valley, but not much. So you're talking about a situation where northern New England sees maybe a couple record highs in the Champlain Valley, but nothing everywhere else than that. 90s isn't going to do it. We really got to get to extreme heat in July to see circles popping up, which would mean forecast record highs, okay? So here's the look at the precip, the green blobs. You've got one, which is Chantal right here, the tropical storm moving into the Carolinas, okay? And then here comes your little area of low pressure in your front coming down from the north, okay? And then what's left around Austin, San Antonio, that rainfall by tomorrow really begins to lessen quite a bit. But they've got another day there of the catastrophic flooding, so it's going to be very dangerous and life-threatening there. And then here's your front. This is Monday and Tuesday. Here is your front that doesn't really move all that much. So there will be rainfall, especially from northern Maine moving down south here. And there will definitely be showers and thunderstorms. A few of them could be strong tomorrow up in the northern and western mountains of Maine. And then we have a lot more rainfall in the forecast next week as that front doesn't really clear out. It doesn't push that far south. So it'll be lingering shower activity. But the tropics are going to quiet down after Chantal moves through. So let's take a look now in more detail. I'm going to focus in on Maine and New Hampshire, my loyal followers there, so we can show you that in more detail, get into the 10-day forecast. Humidity is still low today, but it will warm up, 80s and some 70s, upper 70s and 80s. Heat advisory Sunday and Monday in Maine and New Hampshire and Massachusetts. And then thunderstorms are going to move from north to south tomorrow. So tomorrow is the day where the thunderstorms start to fire up in the mountains first here. So today it's still dry, partly cloudy, 76. And they could even be strong to severe tomorrow in the mountains. Thunderstorms north and west. And then more thunderstorms Monday into Monday late, really late Monday, but it'll start off in the mountains first. Remember, this front is a backdoor front, so it's north to south instead of west to east. The definition of a backdoor front is it comes in from the north instead of from the west. That's pretty typical terminology here in New England. Tuesday, thunderstorms, and then showers are lingering next week with that front not moving all that much, although we do come out of the 90s and 80s. 84 inland today, 91, so the humidity shoots up tomorrow. Monday, it's 88. Tuesday, 81. Okay, humidity is going to stay up. Thunderstorms will be around. Not going to rain all day, but there certainly will be opportunities for downpours, for tropical downpours, and then some lingering showers next week with temperatures cooling off. For the coastline today, it's just close to 80, not quite. It'll be warmer than yesterday, and then we're in the mid-60s tonight. Humidity starts to ramp up into Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Typical summertime humidity, dew point 60s and 70s. And I can tell you that Monday and Tuesday will be the most humid days. It'll get knocked down a little bit Wednesday, Thursday, and then we'll see if we can clear out for next weekend. But look, at the coastline, a completely dry weekend. First time that's happened in a long time for most of us here at the coastline. Thank you for watching Jason Nappy Weather.